made it to the home stretch. The celebration is coming up. This week's essential question is, what's on a healthy plate? Students are acutely aware of the choices their parents make for them, especially when they're in the grocery store together. As we plan for our harvest party, our aim is to increase our students' awareness of how those choices impact their lives. So, what's on a healthy plate? What makes people unhealthy? It's important to emphasize how normal and how beneficial it is to talk about nutrition and discuss what it takes for you to eat better and make better choices about our food. This week's science lesson will have your students talking about essential nutrients in the first half, and we'll introduce them to my plate in the second half. They'll even get to plan a healthy snack. This is an extremely important lesson because as great as all this educational instruction is, health is often overlooked. What we found from collecting feedback in school districts is that students are much more likely to eat vegetables daily after they've completed the program. You can start planning the meals and recipes you'll make for the harvest party. Make sure to base the dishes around vegetables that are growing in the tower garden, knowing that you'll likely have to supplement with additional ingredients from the supermarket. In the math lesson, students will take into consideration what recipes you want to make. They will use the recipe cost calculator to figure out how much recipes cost. Students can compete on what will be the most cost-effective recipe. The language arts lesson is all about preparation for the harvest party. Students will start deciding about how they will have the celebration. Get organized, start owning the celebration and how they'll get their family and friends in the room. I'm a huge believer in student voice, and giving them the ability to make decisions like these ensure 100% ownership and absolute responsibility. It moves you, the teacher, from being a jack of all trades to being the conductor of a talented orchestra. There are lots of great lessons in the Digging Deeper section this week, and we're making sure students are making healthy decisions. First off, simply read labels of common food items. Are there ingredients you or they can't pronounce? Start analyzing portion sizes and comparing calorie count. Most children have no idea how many calories they should or shouldn't consume in a day, or where those calories come from. Now more than ever, children know someone who is obese, diabetic, or with many food allergies. Often, all of the above. Understanding the difference between processed and unprocessed food is critical, as the CDC now reports that processed food makes up the bulk of many people's diets. Talking about organic versus conventional farming has never been more timely, as it's in the news daily. And with the celebration on the horizon, creating an Evite is a great way to develop internet and computer skills. For those not interested, they can still use the internet to find sample invitations and styles they can emulate for personal, printed, or hand-delivered invitations. So many children now socialize and interact electronically. Creating an Evite event also creates a whole new opportunity to look at and chart data. And again, with the celebration right around the corner, it's never too soon to start thinking about recipes. The link to the Captain Planet Foundation's cooking cart recipes are the perfect start. It's time to harvest. It's time to party. It's time to harvest party. This is the week that they've been waiting for. This is where you can make all your necessary preparations to make the harvest party a success. Think about areas you can use for food prep and how your room can best be set up for a family and friends celebration. This week's science lesson is all about food safety. Rather critical considering that you'll be serving people food soon. It's a bit more advanced than the 5-second rule. Use proper food technique. Clean, separate, cook, and chill. It's important information that will empower children to go home and cook with their parents. The math lesson is all about entrepreneurship and personal enterprise. It's totally possible to support yourself growing and making your own food products. Discuss the major advantages of doing so. Figure out how much money you're saving by growing these vegetables instead of buying them at a store. I know as well as you do that lots of students are allergic to lots of things, latex and peanuts and apples and pretzels, but I've never met a student that's allergic to money. Students care about money, and expenses are a very practical way to communicate with them. Also, the children are working hard to produce the food. Understanding the sum of inputs and the value of their labor is critical. In language arts, Ode to a Tower Garden is a fun way for students to express how they felt along the way on their own Tower Garden journeys. These bulleted directions are perfect for any form of creative expression. If students don't want to write an ode, encourage them to create a rap or a song. They can even share it on social media platforms and see what happens. On a daily basis, technology continues to evolve, from laser printing to 3D printing to food printing. In digging deeper this week, children can 3D print their own net pots, even a mini tower garden, or upcycle, recycle plastic bottles. With the celebration getting closer and you're developing all these great recipes as a class, you may want to think about making a personalized class recipe book and publishing it online so you can share it with the world. Now that we're celebrating, it's a great chance to look at how other cultures celebrate with food around the world. This lesson is about breaking down cultural walls and expectations, and includes links to food-based festivals around the world using tomatoes, garlic, and cheese. If I have one last tip for your harvest party, it is to have fun. Everybody loves to have a good time and eat good food, so take it easy and enjoy. Invite parents to not just attend, but help and participate as well. Your students will love to show off what they've learned to other adults in the room. This includes posters, charts, pictures, and the processes. Most parents have never seen a tower garden, let alone understand the science and efficiencies behind them. This is a perfect opportunity to let your students be the teacher. Once we're done with the celebration, we'll look at week 9 and how we'll wrap up this cycle of growth and start the next one.